Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room and, without saying a word, they shift the entire atmosphere? It's not their clothes, not their voice, not even their looks. It's their presence. You feel it before you can describe it. They leave behind a trace of energy that lingers even after they've walked away. That's the secret of being unforgettable. It's not about chasing attention. It's about embodying presence. When someone feels your energy, your attention, your genuine care in the moment, they can't help but think about you long after you've gone. I remember once, during one of my seminars, a woman approached me afterward. She wasn't loud, she wasn't trying to impress me. She simply looked me in the eye and said, "Your words hit differently. I don't know why, but I can't stop thinking about what you said." And in that instant, I realized something powerful. When you are fully present with someone, when you give them your focus, not your phone, not your rehearsed charm, they feel it. That kind of presence is magnetic. It's rare, and that's exactly why it sticks. Most people go through life half present. Their body is there, but their mind is scrolling, their heart is elsewhere, their attention is fractured. But when you're the person who gives your undivided attention, when your eyes meet his with warmth, when you listen instead of just waiting to talk, you create a connection that feels alive. You don't need to speak loudly to be heard. You need to see him deeply, because being remembered isn't about leaving a mark on his eyes. It's about leaving a mark on his soul. Think about the last time someone truly listened to you. Not just nodded, but really listened. You felt seen, right? You felt like your words mattered. That's the power of presence. When you give that feeling to someone, it awakens something inside them. It reminds them of what genuine connection feels like. Something so rare in a world filled with distractions. And the moment you give a man that feeling, you stop being just another person. You become an experience. So when you're with him, don't worry about what you're wearing, how your hair falls, or what clever thing to say next. Just be there. Be fully alive in that moment. Smile with your eyes. Laugh from your heart. Let your energy speak louder than your words. Because long after you've left, he won't replay what you said. He'll replay how you made him feel. When a woman carries herself with calm confidence, when she's so present that she makes time stand still, she doesn't have to do much. She doesn't need to prove her worth. She doesn't need to chase or persuade. Her presence does the work for her. That's when she becomes unforgettable. That's when she lives rent-free in his mind. Not because she tried to impress him, but because she gave him something no one else does. The rare feeling of being truly seen. And that's what he'll think about all night. Here's the thing. The people who stay on your mind are rarely the ones who tell you everything about themselves. They're the ones who leave a trace of curiosity behind, a gentle mystery that your mind can't help but return to. That's the secret most people miss when they try to connect. They think attraction is built by over-explaining, oversharing, or constantly seeking approval. But real connection, real intrigue, comes from holding a little bit back. It's not about playing games. It's about understanding your own values so deeply that you don't need to prove it. I remember watching a friend of mine once. She was magnetic, not because she was the loudest person in the room, but because she carried a calm assurance about her. When someone asked her a question, she didn't rush to fill the silence. She thought. She smiled. She answered with warmth, but didn't give everything away. You could see it. The person she was talking to leaned in just a little closer, drawn by her energy. That's what confidence looks like when it's quiet, when it doesn't need to perform. It creates space for curiosity. The truth is, when you know who you are, you don't beg for attention. You attract it. You understand that mystery isn't about hiding yourself. It's about revealing yourself slowly, with purpose, like turning the pages of a book one at a time. When you're talking to a man, don't feel pressure to impress him with every detail of your life. Share pieces that reflect your depth, your humor, your values. But let him want to know more. The beauty of intrigue lies in restraint. When he walks away still wondering, what's her story? What makes her glow like that? That's when he'll think about you long after the conversation ends. I once said to someone, a confidence isn't loud. It's quiet certainty. When you sit in your worth, you radiate a different kind of energy. One that says, I don't need to chase. I know I'm enough. And men feel that. They sense it in the way you carry yourself, in the way you speak, in the calm you bring into a conversation. It's like a beautiful song that doesn't need to be turned up to be heard. It's memorable because it moves you. The best part about true confidence is that it gives space for the other person to feel something. You don't overwhelm them, you pull them in, you allow silence to breathe, you let moments linger. You smile in a way that feels effortless because it comes from a place of peace. You make him curious, not because you're withholding, but because you're whole. You're not waiting to be completed, you're inviting someone to discover you. And here's the paradox. The less you try to impress him, the more unforgettable you become. Because most people are out there trying to earn attention, while the woman who rests in her worth naturally commands it. She doesn't have to fight for space in his thoughts. She simply exists there, effortlessly, like a melody that replays in his mind without permission. When you embody that quiet confidence, that calm self-assurance, you stop being a moment in his day and start becoming a thought he can't shake. That's when you'll be on his mind all night, not because of what you said, but because of what you left unsaid. There's a reason why some people stay in your mind long after they're gone. It's not just about chemistry or attraction. It's about emotional impact. When you touch someone's emotions, when you make them feel something rare and real, you don't fade from their thoughts easily. To be on his mind all night, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to connect in a way that reaches beyond the surface. You become both comfort and challenge, softness and strength. You make him feel at ease, but also make him want to rise to meet your energy. That balance is what creates true magnetism. I remember once watching a couple at a cafe. They weren't doing anything extraordinary, just talking. But there was something electric in the air. She laughed with a softness that filled the space, then leaned in with a question that made him pause and think. She wasn't trying to impress him. She was engaged. She was curious, present, and unafraid to challenge his ideas, but always with warmth. You could see it in his eyes. He was captivated. She had managed to make him feel both comfortable and slightly off balance. And that's what creates the spark that lasts long after the moment ends. Men are not drawn to perfection. They're drawn to emotion. They remember how you made them feel, the safety of your smile, the spark of your laughter, the confidence in your silence. When you listen with genuine interest, when you speak with conviction and kindness, you give him a space he doesn't often find in the world, a space where he feels seen, respected, and challenged to be more. That combination doesn't just catch attention, because what you're offering isn't just charm, it's connection. Sometimes being unforgettable means holding space for both tenderness and truth. You can look at him in a way that says, I see who you are, and yet carry yourself in a way that silently says, but you'll have to earn more of me. That quiet strength stirs something in him. It awakens a desire not just to be close to you, but to deserve you. When you bring that kind of energy, the balance of kindness and self-respect, you stop being just another person in his life. You become the mirror that reflects his best self back at him. And people never forget the ones who do that. He'll think about your laughter, how it made him feel alive. He'll replay your words, not because they were fancy, but because they were honest. He'll remember the way you listened, the way you carried yourself, the ease and grace with which you owned your presence. Because real attraction isn't about what you wear or how you look. It's about how you make him feel about himself when he's around you. If he feels inspired, grounded, seen, he'll crave that energy again and again. And that's when you live in his thoughts, not because you demanded it, but because your presence touched something deep inside him. You became his peace in the noise, his curiosity in the silence, his challenge in comfort. When you reach someone on that level, they can't help but think about you. They'll replay every glance, every word, every moment, because somewhere inside they know they met someone rare, someone real, someone unforgettable. And that's when he'll be up all night, not wondering if he should think about you, but wondering how he could ever stop.